You're drowning in a sea of clutter, but you're suffering from decision fatigue, overthinking, procrastination. There's a quick, practical way to decide which possessions really deserve a place in your life. Each item must fall into one of four categories. N is for need. Do you really need the item, or are you holding on to it because you've always had it? Does it serve a practical purpose in your life? Does it fulfill a specific function or need? Your important documents would fall into this category. Things like your birth certificate, house deed, car insurance, tax documents, or even some manuals. Would you need to store them in the physical format, or would a digital version work just as well? This category may also include emergency items that you don't use often or that you hope to never have to use. Think of things like a backup generator, fire extinguisher, first aid kit, maybe a sewing kit or toolkit. Do you have adequate storage space? If so, give the items a designated spot. If your storage space is limited, you'll have to prioritize. Are there any items that you'll be able to access easily by borrowing, renting, or even purchasing inexpensively? You may not need to store that power tool if your neighbor or close relative has one on hand and would happily lend it to you. Give priority to the items you know you need but would have trouble accessing in an emergency. U is for use. How often do you use it? If it's something that you use daily, then it needs to occupy prime real estate in your home. If you use your coffee maker every day, then it needs to have a place on your kitchen counter. But perhaps your toaster that you only use on Sundays could be put into a drawer or cupboard. When last did you use the item? When next are you going to use it? Decide on a period that works for you and stick to it. So say, if I haven't used this item in 6 months and I'm not going to use it in the next 6 months, I'm getting rid of it today. Think practicality versus aspiration. Distinguish between those items that you actually use and those that you aspire to use. Go ahead and let go of those aspirational items that realistically don't fit into your current lifestyle or priorities. Maybe it's time to declutter that treadmill that has been gathering dust for years. A walk in nature or a swim would be much more fun. Do you have any duplicates or items that serve the same purpose? Consider keeping the best quality or most functional item and letting go of the others. Some small appliances may serve a similar purpose, so you don't make bread very often and you already have a food processor. Maybe you can get rid of your bread maker. Keep the items that will be useful for upcoming projects and events and declutter the others. Bottom line is, if you do not use it or need it, it's clutter and it needs to go. But what if you really love it? L is for love. Some of our possessions may not serve a practical purpose in everyday life, but they sure bring us lots of enjoyment. Look at the item or hold it in your hand. How do you feel? Does it bring you joy? Do you feel uplifted and fulfilled when you interact with it? Your jewelry, books, and pottery may bring you immense joy, and once you have the storage space for them, go ahead and keep them. Put them in an area where you can easily access and admire them. If you love them and you have space for them, they are not clutter. But what about those sentimental items you received from your loved ones? Do you really love the item or the person? Have you inherited any family heirlooms? Are you holding on to them out of guilt or obligation because you're afraid of disrespecting your family tradition? Only hold on to those items that you really love. But what if you have too many items that you love and don't have the storage space? Here's where the other L comes in. Can you live happily without it? Connect with each item and discern if it really deserves a place in your life. Does it align with your vision for your space and your life? Does it contribute to your goals and your purpose? Does it add to your quality of life? If it does, hold on to it. If it doesn't, you can probably live without it. Each possession should fall into at least one of the four categories. If it doesn't, it's null and void, and you can declutter it right away. If an item falls into all four categories, you know it's a definite keeper. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful. If it was, please give it a like and share it with someone who might benefit. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.